Welcome to another episode of the Top Corner Podcast, and today is Monday. I have to my left, Ayuen, and to my right, my co-host, Julian. You already know much about him. How y'all doing today?
Probably too much.
Doing good, man. How about you guys? How's life?
I don't know. Life is lifing.
It's lifing pretty hard right now.
Yeah. Life is it's really busy and interesting right now.
Yeah.
But we're still standing. As long as you stay standing, everything's good.
Well, we're sitting right now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, at least I didn't mess up his name. Usually I call his brother's name.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got this one.
Nailed it this time.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else is exciting though? Football's back.
Football is back.
Yeah.
And for those who want to say soccer, same thing, man.
Again, just remember that the
Yeah.
British invented the term, so when they make fun of you for it, they invented it, didn't they?
And then they're like, no, we ain't
I
gonna
think
use
so.
that.
Yeah.
They invented it, and then like, nah, that's not good. We're
That's
good
like-
with football.
Which
Yeah.
is the most British thing that you can do in the
Yeah.
world. let me create something and then make fun of it when other people start doing it.
Yeah.
Like, great. Yeah, perfect. You're awesome. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, the season started back everywhere. So if you say you don't have anything to watch on the weekend, you just don't want to watch anything.
It's true.
So, definitely. Let's start a little bit with news. Joao Felix is going back to Chelsea on a 6-year contract. It's confirmed.
I actually didn't hear that today.
Yeah, it's just now.
That is
Wow.
death row record type of deals.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening in Chelsea though? Like, they have 8 goalkeepers.
Man, I don't know, man.
They're 3 goalkeepers short of having a full team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, like, at a certain point, you just want to see that happen. Like, I want you to field 11 keepers. I just want to see what happens.
It sounds like Todd Bowley is trying to build an actual baseball team.
Yeah.
With so many players in the team.
In rotation.
Yeah, Chelsea got so many players.
When they lost this weekend, I saw him leaving. After that second goal, he was leaving.
You're like, hey, so I'm done with it. I'm done with this.
But that's his fault though.
Yeah. It's one of those rare instances where, like, it's always a bad sign when the owner or the GM of a club or a team, like if it's American sports, has a bigger profile than the head coach. The Cowboys were that way for a while when Jerry Jones, the owner,
They're still that way.
was like so much bigger than
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, I want to see the reactions of players and coach. I don't want to see the guy that paid for all of it up there in the box seat just going, I don't like that. It's like that's so stupid to me, and that shows how the media are all about the wrong person. But that person's put themselves in that position on purpose. And Todd Bowley's an American, so it makes sense that he's doing this thing. So.
To me, it's like my question is like, what do the sporting directors that are being paid by Chelsea do?
Yeah.
Because how you look at your squad the way it is right now and say, oh yeah, you know what we're missing? Joao Felix.
Exactly. When we've had him for a while, like he's been around.
You know what? I would just go, who's the financial guy, to be honest? I wouldn't even go there because how do you have that much money to keep spending?
Yeah, like who's sanctioning all of these deals? I'm like, I'd rather they would have like took all the money they need and just buy Oshman.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, at least you needed a striker and you got a
yeah.
striker. You
Yeah.
get buying all of these players.
They spend so much money and they still don't have a proper striker. Did you if you watch the game, I didn't watch a lot of it, but man, what's his name? Nicholas
Jackson.
Jackson.
Nico Jackson.
Because he
can't
had
hit
a
the broadside
haircut,
of a barn.
It doesn't mean he's a new player. He's still the same player.
Yeah, well, he's too busy like getting a weird haircut and dyeing it and texting porn stars instead. It's like just play the game. I noticed that because my wife and I actually watched that full game, and he had shaved his head. And I was like, shit, okay, he's taking it seriously. Like, let's go. Like, maybe he'll hit
the same
something.
guy.
No, not a chance.
Yeah,
Not a
like
chance.
that guy is so frustrating because he'll do something immediately. Like, how are you a professional football player? And then the next minute, oh, that's why. He's like, in some occasion, is that good? Some occasion, you just think, like, this guy is robbing Chelsea.
They're all robbing Chelsea. Man, I don't know.
At
What do
this
you think
point
of?
is they're getting themselves robbed.
Yeah. What do you think of Romeo Lavia though? Because he's finally back.
Actually, he's the only player
I think
that
so
like
too,
looked
yeah.
really good in that game. Like in
For
that
real.
midfield, he looked incredible.
Yeah.
And he was playing next to like 230 million worth of players in Cancelo and Endo, and he was the better player of both of them.
Yeah.
And I think I was surprised he got taken out it shouldn't have been him.
Well, I mean, hell, I mean, what was it? Week 2 or week 3 of last season, he got injured and was out. Like,
Yep.
I don't know if his season premiere. Do you want him out the whole time? I don't want to risk an injury. But do you think that he made Caicedo look a little bit better as well? Caicedo still wasn't on the same level, but do you think that he's back there with a little bit more security and Caicedo's a bit more comfortable now?
Yeah, I think
Definitely,
so. Like,
yeah.
you take away Caicedo is more the combative, like win the ball back,
Yeah.
pressure people, and when you task him with the ability to pass the ball out of the midfield in the way or grab the ball from the back line, he struggled. But now Lavia come in and take that away from him and say, hey, you just do what you're good at, and let's go play. And they look good.
And if you look at the majority of Southampton highlights with Romeo Lavia, he's making these crazy lunge tackles, and he's doing stuff that Caicedo was doing at Brighton as well. So it looks like they do have the capacity for similar skill sets, but if Lavia is going to be able to take pressure off of Caicedo and let him be more comfortable and play in a different way, by all means, let him do it, because you've got to figure out something that works. Because I think that really Romeo Lavia, Malo Gusto, even though he can be exposed at times on the wing, and when he's exposed, it's big time, and it's usually goal-scoring opportunities. And Nani Madueke are like the 3 big guys, I think, that play well for them.
Didn't even play.
I know.
That was the weirdest part.
Exactly. Yeah.
All preseason, he was the star guy.
Yeah.
Him with Sterling too. Sterling didn't even make the lineup.
Apparently
Which Sterling had that drama too. Yeah. You saw the statement that came out with that nonsense?
No, but apparently he is not, like, he doesn't know his situation yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that was based. So his agent or manager came out and made a press release statement because he wasn't selected for the squad.
Yeah,
and it's funny because you have to think, like, if every player that wasn't selected for the squad made a press statement, it's like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't anything new. He was just like, he's committed to Chelsea now more than ever. And it's like, okay, no one's committed to Chelsea that much. You're all mercenaries. Yeah. That's why there's 80 of you on the roster. It's just like, it was wild. But yeah, I mean, like, everybody seems to be pretty unhappy there. And now you're going to try to sign a big striker. No one wants to go there for that. I think
the whole organization needs to review its own self. Like, the whole thing is in shambles.
But the issue is that the person at the top is the one that has to do the examining and is the one at fault. And good luck getting to convince that guy. But that's the issue. Like,
that has been the problem in Manchester United for a long time, is that Joe Glazer, who used to make all the decisions, was the one messing up. But somehow he's the supervisors of every single thing that goes on in Manchester United. So how are you supposed to supervise the supervisor?
Yeah. I also feel like Manchester United's issues, it was like, they never grow up. They never go up past the fact that it's a new era. One thing they said about Chelsea when Mourinho got there back in the days, he came with like a sporting director. He came with a team that will actually do the analytics, trying to find players. And since Manchester United, I usually say Manchester United. Since Manchester United, the Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager. He was the director. Because he was pretty much, he wasn't really, you couldn't really see a coach. That's why in top 5, I really don't like to put Sir Alex Ferguson in top 5 of coaches of all time, because he was more than a coach. It was like a CEO running a company, basically. But he was mostly the guy having the job of that. I will be the coach, I will be the manager, I will be the sporting director and everything. So Manchester United never grew past that level after he retired. They thought that one person could still be that guy. They killed him.
We never modernized. And
yes.
Until it was too late. And now they're trying to do that. But yeah, I agree with you, is that Sir Alex Ferguson is different class. It's not just a football coach.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until like Pep Guardiola came that those two roles were separated. Because before Pep Guardiola, the manager did most of the stuff. When Pep Guardiola came into Barcelona, he was just a coach then. The team was pre-made for him, and he was just there to coach. And seeing that, people start like imitating that, like that model. Say, well, if Barcelona was able to dominate the world football for that long, with just having a guy who was a coach, we can all just do that too and have a coach.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I feel just the United issues. But right now, Chelsea's issues, to be honest, God can help them at this point.
It's wild.
It's
because,
so messed up.
even with people like sort of predicting the top, like a lot of the Chelsea banter went away in the offseason. If you noticed that, it was like it wasn't even fun to poke fun at them anymore. And it's like, I mean, and trust it might get back to that again. Well, I mean, it depends on what all happens here, but also, I mean, you don't want to make too many excuses about timing of the schedule, but it is important. I mean, having your opener against Manchester City is not fun for anybody, but someone always has to has to start the season, and it's you. And and City looked in control, but they didn't look like absolutely lights out like they did like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, they looked consistent. They held control of everything. They didn't look in danger. You know what I mean? No, yeah. But they definitely, it wasn't if this Chelsea played Man City from 2 years ago, that would have been like a 5 or a 6-0 like deal. So it's like, so even then it showed that City is not at this point ramping up to the very top. I mean, like, consistent performance, great way to open the season, against a big club in their hometown. But like, do you guys agree that like even City didn't look that insane? I
don't feel like for City
didn't look insane.
I don't feel like City of 3 years ago is there.
No.
But knowing Pep Guardiola, he always knows how to get the best of it. They actually signed a young player from West Ham. I think it's 2 days ago.
That guy's like academy player. It's not see the first team.
Yeah, but my thing is, the way I saw them play, I didn't see absolute dominance.
But you got to also understand that like Pep Guardiola is notorious for giving his players a lot of time off.
Yeah.
So like half of his team was not there. Some of his most important players didn't start the game. John Stone,
Rodri,
Rodri, Foden, Rodri. They did not start the game. So Ake, so they did not start the game. So once they come back,
it's gonna be different.
It's gonna be different.
How about Tottenham? And his name is always difficult.
You always have trouble with it.
Whatever. Like, that name is difficult. But he said the second season he always wins something. Where do you see Spurs?
Have we confirmed that is actually him? Say that quote, because when I first heard that quote, it was weird. I said, like, this is giving me Jose Mourinho vibe. Like,
you might be taking the page out of this book.
You think you're Mourinho or something? But I just finished watching their game.
Yeah.
The first half, completely dominant Leicester City. Completely dominant Leicester City. Just didn't take their chances. Second half, the old Tottenham came back. Where, like, they always battle it. Like, it took Leicester City one attack and one shot. And Jamie Vardy scored.
Well, and I do love Jamie Vardy, so that's fun.
Jamie Vardy is my guy. I think at the end of his season, when he retires, they should have a statue at Leicester for Jamie Vardy, because accepting to be the main guy when you are in 2015, where everybody in that team is leaving, you had the potential of leaving because clubs wanted him, but he stayed, went down with the club, came back up, still with the club. See, that's how football used to. If you know the especially
like
with
Totti, Francisco Totti and all of that, like they were like Paul Scholes, one club legends.
Yes,
but Jamie Vardy's story is probably the greatest story ever in football, ever to me, because the guy is what do you call a late bloomer? He did not come in the league until he was 27 years old.
Yes,
and like he went from non-league football, playing all the division of English Premier to the Premier League, not only to become the top goal scorer in the Premier League, he won the Premier League, playing the Champions League, his team got relegated, brought them back to the Premier League. That guy's story is crazy. And today when he got subbed off and the Tottenham fan was like booing because it was taking a little bit too long to get off the field, he basically just pointed at the Premier League badge and told them, I have 1, you guys have 0.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely. Let's talk about Arsenal. How did they look? Do you think that this Arsenal of this year finally could win the Champions, the Premier League?
Yeah, not Champions League.
No, Champions League is really too far. But
that will probably never happen, and I'm okay with it.
You think so? For that to happen, you need a combination of a lot of things.
So you, the Arsenal fan, I'll defer to you there. Like, what did you think of them, the opening game?
I think that it looked pretty solid.
Saka, a goal and an assist.
That Well, and Saka's goal was pretty insane as well.
Yeah.
And and Havertz with the goal and assist as well. So it's go ahead.
Do you think that Havertz is doing the job that he's supposed to be doing?
Now he is, yeah.
Because for a long time he's always thinking Havertz is still not doing the job that they hired
we
him
all said because
at some point at the
revisionist
end
history.
at the end I'm like
at
the end of the season I was like, this is the Havertz that
it was coming out. Yeah.
I'm still not convinced about him. And like I'm one of those people who still think Arsenal is a striker. And people say,
no, I think
Me
that too.
They score a bunch of goals and all of that. I'm like, yes, but I'd rather my center forward, when everything is going wrong, when everything is like you can buy a goal to save your life.
Yep.
He'll just put a toe on something
exactly.
and it's a goal.
Because
that's the striker you need.
Yes, because Havertz is working well in this system tactically. Now, there were times late last season and the season before it, and Mikel Arteta is actually pretty good at adjusting mid-game accordingly to what you need. Now, if your first bit of business, if this is the team that you want to field, if you want to field Havertz as this kind of floating false nine, I guess it's still difficult to see exactly what he's doing in a good way, meaning it's hard to pin him down. If that's what you implement and it's clear that it's not working and you need some sort of tactical not just formation, not just players in and out, but like tactically, and now he needs to be that main goal scorer. He's still not the guy.
Nope.
So you need somebody that can come in if this system, because it's so clear that he wants to have this goals by committee kind of a thing, where not one person's getting 20 to 25, everybody's kind of getting 9, 10, 11. If you want to do that, and that's your priority, that's fine. But it's not going to work every game, and you need somebody that can come in if you have to adjust your tactics. And I think that he's smart enough to know that. So they still need two players.
Now, absolutely. I think they still need a pure striker.
Yes.
Because of the system of play they do. They're not how will I say it? The team itself, or the line, the first three, or Saka and all the likes. When the game is tough, where every alley is close, those guys can score.
Right.
Yeah.
They can create, don't get me wrong, but they don't have that scoring feeling.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like Ronaldo. He might have been a left wing, but when the game is tight, he's gonna put something. Or like Messi, they might individually have their position, but they can act as pure strikers when it.
And a lot of that's taking it on themselves and being able to float to where they need to go.
Yeah,
and that's what Havertz is being asked to do, and he is doing that well. But he is not the natural goal scorer.
But I thought he was more of a supporting cast, to be honest. To the striker, I didn't think Arsenal would do all this. I thought. Honestly, I thought they would try to go for Osimhen or someone that's a striker.
I think Arsenal need two players, two positions for them to be like out. If they get two players in these two positions, I think they will win the league.
Left.
One, no, it's a center forward. And the second one is a DM, because like Arsenal with Thomas Partey in the midfield is a completely different team.
Yeah.
Without Thomas Partey.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, one thing we know for sure is that Thomas Partey will get injured.
Yeah, for sure.
That 100%. Yeah, Thomas Partey will get injured, and when he get injured, you put probably one of your best dynamic midfielder in Rice.
Yeah.
As a DM, and he's a good DM, but
it takes away from what he offers the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
his
true.
Recovering ability, his runs. So you need a DM.
Unpopular opinion. Who they can transform as a DM? Zinchenko. I always say this because Zinchenko has
got defend. He can. And that's number one job of being a DM. You have to be able to defend.
But he's gotten to the point where I see him more as a midfielder than as a left wing.
Yeah, he would be good in the right position.
Yes,
he can bring the physicality, the right.
That's what I think.
But yeah, he'll be good there, especially now they got Calafiori.
Yes,
who's going to take that position from him? So
he and Timber are gonna have to battle it out.
I think Calafiori.
I do too. But Timber looked okay when he came on. Actually,
I really don't know what level Timber is gonna be after that injury.
Yeah,
but
he looked okay in the opener. I was excited to see his acceleration was pretty solid.
My theory is midway during the season, Calafiori and Timber are gonna take both fullback position out.
You think
Arsenal
muscle out Ben White?
Yeah,
even White, but even Ben White out.
Timber is the more technical player than Ben White, and when they start playing and playing regularly, he probably would take.
Because my problem with Zinchenko is
that way he used to play for Ajax as either a right center back or a right back.
My problem with Zinchenko is when he goes up, that's it.
He doesn't come back. He doesn't come back.
He doesn't come back.
Yeah.
He's like Marcelo.
Yeah.
He's like, if he goes up, they're gonna pass by that.
Once he goes up, all you have to do is dink the ball over the top, and he's watching it like he's stargazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's watching it go by. And I agree about Declan Rice. If you move him to a defensive midfield situation, you take away a lot of his build up. You take away a lot of his assets, which is why I think that it's interesting about the Mikel Merino potential transfer into the midfield. Because he's a number 10, he's not quite defensive enough to replace a party in the middle. And I don't think that just because you're, the central of a 3-man midfield that you have to by default be sitting all the way back. But Mikel Merino coming in doesn't quite rectify the issue of the fact that your two holding midfielders, Jorginho and Thomas Partey, are a little bit older. One of which, the better of the two, is pretty injury prone. And it's like I do think that they have a place for Mikel Merino in that squad. He's a very creative midfielder. And I think that if you need to let Rice sit in the middle and be a little bit more defensive, but not too much so, because you do have Gabriel and Saliba in the back to clean up any mess. That does make sense to me, but I do agree that a holding midfielder seems to be what they need more than Mikel Merino at this time. And that's why I've said it for 2 seasons now. I want it to happen so bad. But because of Toni Kroos leaving, Modric leaving soon, Camavinga being injured, I really think that Tchouameni would do well as a holding midfielder in that squad. And he would have incentive to go if he wasn't getting the minutes, because that midfield last season, that roster was so stacked that he was fighting for minutes, where sometimes you do want to take a step down and have consistent playing time, but it's not going to happen now.
I think for Madrid, we're going to get to Madrid.
If you ever leave Madrid, you're going to have like more than 10 teams fighting for him.
Yeah. But I feel like Arsenal could be a strong contender in the sense that they have the pursuit of winning trophies, because they have a good team. And actually, if you look at their team depth right now, they have a good team depth. To rotate the squad.
Except those two positions, center forward and a DM, because of Thomas Partey injury record. Otherwise, they just need a striker.
And that's what I was going to say too. Like, I mean, you are right. If Tchouameni ever comes up, if his contract expires, or if they're willing to sell him when his contract starts to dwindle down, I mean, every club in the world is going to come out. So if you were to do that, 10 clubs. I mean, other than Real Madrid, City and Arsenal. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not trying to be reductive and put down to the if you're looking at a top 10 teams, like those two are near the Arsenal's near the very top of, if they made an offer that he would take seriously and have a legitimate pursuit for silverware.
I can see that happening. But United had a great game but do you think that the United you saw this week will be a strong contender for top 4 position?
Yes, I do think so. Like, we just did like Arsenal. We need like a 2 position to be kind of fixed. We need a left back because Luke Shaw is injured. Last time Luke Shaw played for United was in February. Yeah. And that
I didn't realize that.
And then
because
his backup, we haven't seen his backup in like a year and a half. We don't know what happened to him. All we heard is that he's injured. He had a surgery. We didn't see him again in Tauria Malacia. So the left back position in Man United is a problem. We have to play Dalot there. Dalot is not a left back. No matter how good he played there, it's not a left back. Yeah. So we need a left-footed left back, and then we need a DM. Just like Arsenal, like Casemiro had a good couple of games. Yeah. Against City, he was pretty good, and against Fulham, he was pretty good. But we don't know. But Casemiro is going to be
38 games in this competition alone, let alone the domestic cups. And
he's not going to be able to last that long. So we need a DM, and United been linked with the Manuel Ugarte from PSG. Yeah. And the way we played actually was suited. Because we need a guy who also put out fires before they start. Yep. And he can cover ground, and he's like 24 years old, way young. So we need a DM. And we'll be strong contenders for top 4.
I saw Rashford playing because I was a strong advocate of selling Rashford, to be honest. But the way he played a little bit like he wants to win something. He wants to be there. Yeah. I think he should have taken that shot. I don't know if it's a confidence problem or he just wanted to send the pass. Because if he had finessed that shot on the second end, he would have scored.
I think you're trying to pay back Garnacho for in the last game they played. Garnacho squared a very beautiful ball to him. He just happened to hit his chin instead of his foot.
Yeah.
And he missed.
Yeah.
And this time he was on goal. He's like, I see Garnacho running toward me. I say, I'm gonna put it to Garnacho, and Garnacho just happened to miss. But
Garnacho missed so much.
in the summer, I was also for Rashford to leave, not because I didn't want Rashford in United anymore. I just feel like he looked like a man who needed a new start.
Me too.
Fresh start.
Me too.
And the problem I was having is that if he were to leave, if he's not going to PSG, I'm not selling him to anybody else.
Yeah.
Because look what Mikel Arteta did with Harvard. You give him Rashford, he win the league. That's what I'm saying. Like if you give him Rashford, he wins the league because put Rashford and Saka in opposite of him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he win the league because he will get the Rashford that scored 30 goals.
Mm-hmm.
And that Rashford
can
dangerous.
score.
And Rashford is dangerous running one-on-one with defenders, which is Arsenal is bread and butter. It's create one-on-one with the fullbacks.
Yep.
And Rashford will kill it at Arsenal.
Well, and even if it's not just about him feeling he needs to change, if you look at the roster of people that you're even considering willing to go, he fetches the highest price.
Yep.
So take that for what it is. I mean, it might not be the same price that it was worth 2 or 3 years ago, but neither is Jadon Sancho. And I'm not. It is what it is. So if you're trying to rebuild, and even if he might be one of your better players or has the capacity to be possibly your best player, if he's simply not doing that and he's fetching the highest price. I'm right. Don't sell him to anybody in league.
No,
that's you can't do that. You can do that with some guys. You can't do that with everybody. You sold Wan-Bissaka to West Ham.
Yeah,
you're willing to let that happen. Like certain players, you're willing to let stay in the league.
But he's also West Ham. You can sell West Ham a couple of good players. They'll still be West Ham.
They've been wheeling and dealing though. Like they've had a good.
But they think that Sancho coming back.
No, he's gone.
He's gone.
Nah, he's just like have you ever made a deal with somebody and say, okay, let's stop this fighting because I need you to go somewhere and I also need some money.
Yeah.
Take this picture and smile.
Yeah, I'm not going to
get the fuck out of here.
I'm not going to put you out to make you look bad.
Yeah.
I don't want you to make me look bad.
But
so let's make a deal.
Yeah.
And once this is over, you can go to wherever you want to go. So Sancho is going to leave and most likely he's going to go to PSG.
Xerxes look good. Maino look good. And for me, Maino is more of a center midfielder. The sooner we understand that, the better it will be. He's not a DM. He's not a DM. Yeah,
he can do it, but that's not where he excels.
No, he can. But the thing is that without the ball, he's lost.
Yeah.
With the ball, he knows what he can do. But without the ball, you can see that when he played in the English team, it was like this guy was running everywhere around because he don't understand positioning.
And honestly, but I wouldn't use the England squad as a great example though, because they all kind of feel that way. It's all individuals trying to make something work. So I do agree. He's young. He does kind of have that wandering capacity, but like even the veteran players with England kind of all feel like they're stuck out, not knowing exactly what to do with each other.
But like I feel like because he's so young. What comes with age most of the time is position discipline.
Yeah.
So the raw talent and ability to recognize what to do with the ball before you get the ball, you can't coach that.
You can't coach that. And if you look at a kid like Yamal, look at Yamal out of without the ball. He's still creating space because you can create space. You can even create attacking opportunity without the ball for players that have a high IQ game.
Yeah.
But if a player don't have it, you have to understand that he don't have it.
Again,
try to force it on him.
That might be slightly unfair because it's pretty clear that Yamal's a prodigy, right? Like
Maino could be.
It took a little bit to get there, but it's like he might legitimately be the next whatever that high status player.
But the difference is though, like Maino play in the position that like you cannot just put anybody in there.
Yeah,
Maino is a midfielder. If you put like Lamal as in the midfield, if he came on through as a midfielder, I don't think he'll be being praised as he is right now because that position require a whole lot more
it requires
discipline than just being an attacking player and know when to track back and when not to track back. That is like fullback be able to track back and wingers being able to track back. That's coaching. That's simple coaching. Yeah. And if a kid that good is also very smart.
Yeah,
he will know how to do his job.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was telling you is like the perfect example that like actually disprove your point is Vini Jr. At one point, like Real Madrid players themselves refused to pass to him.
But for Vinny Jr., I would say this though. It's more of experience.
No, it was
Because-
more like up there.
That's what up there comes too with experience because he's young. He has this. Of course he's talented. I can do this, street football, whatever. But in the team, it's different.
Yeah.
Especially most of them when they come from Brazil, they come in with a high IQ on technicality, but not understanding what to do when you don't have the ball.
Technicality and individual play, like what I myself can and should do.
Yeah, but like if you look at Sergio Busquets. Of course, like you said, you can coach those, but also how long has he been playing and going through the academy? This is a different thing, This is different. But I was more impressed with Meno this game that United had, and the kid Xerxes. I feel like he is there. He just need more playing minutes. Garnacho got to get his act together because that's a lot of misses. And nobody's talking about Bruno Fernandes, who missed a lot too.
Yeah. No, Bruno Fernandes missed 2 clear chances. Like Mason Mount also missed a very good chance. Yeah. But for me, with Garnacho, it's just a winning game. Yeah. Personally, I think that I'm hoping the effect that happened with Vinny Jr. happened with him where one summer he just clicked. Yeah. Because he had all the attribute to be a very good player, and he's just missing end product, and that will come with understanding of the game. Yeah. And one day, hopefully, just one summer to come back is
Saka was the same way too.
Yeah, exactly.
The first 2.5 seasons with Arsenal, it's you knew, and I've said this before as well. Yeah. I mean, he can cut down the wing, he can cut inside, he can create space, but for a fact, it doesn't matter how long he holds the ball, doesn't matter how far he cuts inside, doesn't matter who he lays the ball off to. There's no completion at the end. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it changed. Yeah. He came back, he looked like he was 20 pounds heavier, and he fucking crushed it. And it's that is what happens. It just happens over a summer. It's like a growth spurt. It's weird.
Where do you see Delight? Delight came back playing under the same, one of the coach he played at Ajax.
I have a feeling he's going to be the signing of the summer.
You think so?
Yeah. I think what he's going to do to our defense and people if he get back to just 90% of the player that was in Ajax, it's an incredible center half.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling he can.
Yeah, and consider how bad we were defensively last year. Yeah. He would change everything.
Nobody's talking about Maguire had a great game, to be honest. He had a good game, except from that yellow card. But he, that's always Maguire. But he had a good game.
He got a yellow card for diving. That's what the strikers get, not defenders.
So you think that De Ligt is gonna muscle out Maguire, or is he gonna or Martinez? Because Martinez looks a little bit better this season. He was very underwhelming when he was playing last season for sure.
Martinez is one of our, in terms of technical ability, probably our best center half.
Yeah,
he's probably the best center half in the world in terms of how to passing from the back. Martinez is probably the greatest at that.
So what's your ideal back four if everybody's playing as they're expected to this season?
Actually, it will be Martinez and Euro.
And then who on the
See, I have unpopular opinion. I don't think Euro will do great this season.
No, I think Euro is if I were to have because I need Euro to play because he's the future.
Yeah.
But personally, he's gonna be De Ligt and Martinez for most of the season. Yeah. Unless something happened with Martinez, it's gonna be De Ligt and Euro. But I guarantee you, 80% of the game is gonna be De Ligt and Martinez.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be Mazraoui on the other side. Yeah. And whenever Luke Shaw come back, if not, it's gonna be Dallo.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't sound that
bad. I get that.
You can tell that they, how often, what are some other double transfers that you can remember of not just two players from one club going to another, but you got two defenders from the exact same club, come on over in a way. It feels like a panic, but a good one, not we're panicking and don't know what we're doing. Lenny Euro gets hurt and you're oh shit, we got to fix this really quick. And so you bring in two guys that play very close together on the exact same squad in Mazraoui and De Ligt as a way to say look, we need defensive security right this second. Come on over. What was it when was the last time that either two forwards, two midfielders, two defenders from the exact same club made a double transfer in the same summer?
I think the difference is that De Ligt was
because it was a weird move when I saw it in the news. I was that is uncommon
No,
it's usually single players from each club coming in.
But we were already looking at them. Like
yeah.
We were already looking at Delete because Delete was on the short list of 3 center half we needed this summer.
Yeah.
So priority center back was actually
Delete.
No, Bradway, like Jared Bradway for Everton.
Yeah.
We put 2 bid in with Everton, and they like just said no. We want 70 million. And United like we're not paying that much for that.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we're gonna go. So basically, we were negotiating for Delete.
Yeah.
When we find out that you're like Madrid's not gonna come in for Euro and pay the money like Lille is looking for.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna bid for the guy and see what happened, because like Euro was more like an opportunity signing. It's a player we wanted, but everybody kind of thought he was going to Madrid anyway, so nobody bothered to try and sign him. Liverpool really wanted him, but they were told that like, hey, he's going to Madrid, so don't bother.
Yeah, no one took it seriously. Yeah.
So when we're negotiating for Delete, came across they say, oh, this guy is actually available. And Madrid are saying they're not going to go in higher than 25 million, and Lille are not going to sell him for 50, like for that.
Yeah.
So United came, we're going to pay you like 60 million. We get him.
Yeah.
And they're like,
and you do.
But that was a dumb move, though.
No, it's not a dumb move. It's like an 18-year-old center half.
I get that, but the money though is because guess what? Lille is saying they're willing to take 50. You come in and say, you know what? Forget about 50. I'm gonna give you 60. When Madrid said they are not spending more than 35 or 25 for the guy.
You know what?
PSG itself don't want to spend more than 25 and 35.
But like
that's a
he was not
move.
going to leave like Lille, just go to another French league. He was not doing that. So whatever like PSG was trying to say, he was just trying to save face. Say we're not going to like.
But how about Madrid though?
But Madrid had a strategy. They were going to do the exact same thing that what they did for Camavinga.
Yes.
Remember? They say Camavinga only had 1 year, and Camavinga made it clear he's coming to Madrid.
Yeah.
So either you accept 25 million up to 34 million right now, or we're getting him for free next summer. Mm-hmm. And they waited until last minute for them to say, okay, just give us that money right now. You can take Camavinga. The difference is though, Camavinga made it absolute clear that it's only Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Where Euro say he would like to go to Madrid, but that's not the only place he wanted to go.
Yeah.
So Madrid played the same way they played as a Camavinga.
Yeah.
But Euro was not Camavinga. Euro was willing to go to United, where Camavinga just didn't want to go anywhere but Madrid. So when we came in with a higher bid, it was now up to Real Madrid to either match the bid or the player is going to us. And they're like, all right, we're just going to let him go to you guys. Because it's 18-year-old. And the problem I have with that, like, we didn't pay the money to get Varane about 10 years ago. I would rather we not repeat the same mistake again. And we get a French center half that is only 18 years old. That could possibly be one of the greatest in the world in his position. I'll pay the money for that. If he end up being like 80% of what Varane was for Madrid, that's a good deal.
The good deal will come for the French team. Because now you're looking at the Euro and World Cup where you have a strong French team again.
Yeah.
You know?
It should be illegal for France not to win.
Well, it's going to be difficult because France, like other national team, before they understood the fact that it's not about, the whole immigration thing. France has been on the train for so long.
Yeah.
So the availability for them to have players, if you think about it, every single year, France produces young talent that are good. Not just, he might be.
Yeah, no, like exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Like
British might be on that level. They come in.
They're not quite there, no.
No, not saying like they're there, but they come in. The problem with them will be having a good coach. That's the only person that I see in terms of matching year to year in pound for pound. Spain is already understanding. They might be, hey, we might just let everyone start playing. Italy, they're still far.
No, Italy just like fall off the face of the earth
quickly, because 8 years ago it was pretty solid. Like they had a good little
problem. It's easy.
How do you do it?
Let black players play.
Maybe, yeah.
Like they got one though. They got Ndogi.
If you let them, they will show up. It's because they know like Balotelli said, it's difficult to play.
Yeah.
In that team, it's like Germany, same, but Germany they also understanding because the world is different. It's not just one person one category of person always that you meet. Everybody is, is changing. People are mixing,
Yeah. Nobody's ever gonna be like France, man, where like at one time they feel all black players team.
Yeah.
Like in one of it was a friendly before the World Cup, they actually won.
In 2000,
they play a friendly, and everybody in the lineup was black. It was a big deal. Say for the first time ever, a whole French national team, there were only there were no white player in the starting lineup. And then when the actual thing began, the only one that was actually wasn't mixed, was Hugo Lloris.
Oh yeah.
And Griezmann.
Yeah.
But that's it. Everybody else was black playing the team. But it's more than that. I think France has this ability that they got so lucky is that because the immigration process for people to come from West Africa to come to France is very loose. You can come to France easily, and once you come, you make it there. Your parents make it there. You were born there. There's no way you're gonna pick up and go play for Guinea. Like if you're Paul Pogba, you're not gonna play for Cameroon if you Kylian Mbappe. You're not gonna Mali if you're all of these players that are great, the national teams for their countries, for their parent birth countries, are not that good. And I'd rather they, for example, they take the opportunity to say, this will advance my career, and I will help financially my origin country, but I will not sacrifice my footballing career to do that. And sometimes I understand where they're coming from.
No, I understand typically, but I'm just saying that, like you said, the immigration process, but everything. Because if you look at Umtiti wasn't born there. Umtiti played in Cameroon, and I actually saw him playing before he became Umtiti, which I was glad. Kante wasn't born there, but they get there. The things like you said, it's so easy. So you know what? I have an opportunity. Let me just go ahead. What you trying to say?
No, I just as someone that just wants to see the best football possible. Like that was because people have their opinions about the squad and whatnot, and I personally don't I will watch other clubs in terms of club football, not national football. I'll watch clubs that I don't like if they're playing well. I'll watch them more than mine. I'll keep up with mine. I'll keep up with the tabs, with the transfers. I'll watch most of this, but I go out of my way to watch the best matchup of the weekend, of the summer, of this and that, and so it is pretty wild watching this French club, this French national side, just put on amazing performances, even when they're not playing the best that they can. You just look at the squad, and it's almost just impressive just to see the names
Avengers
involved.
are always together.
And it's I'm imagining in the future other clubs are going to try to sabotage them. They're it's who put sugar in the bus gas tank again? Who popped the tires? We can't get to the stadium now.
I think
it'd be so funny to me.
The greatest thing that ever happened to football is that French have this guy as the head coach.
Deschamps?
Yeah, that's the greatest thing that ever happened to football, because if you put somebody else that is a bit more tactically very good and a bit more fluent, or basically if you take the Spanish coach and put him as the French coach, France would have blew everybody off the park, because how technically good players they have. Just the head coach is too conservative.
You are saying an interesting thing, because before we move to Madrid, I want to talk about Madrid. Because most of you probably don't listen to the French channel, which I do. So that's been their problem for the past 4 years. They actually want Deschamps out, because one of the reasons that Deschamps has come to a point where he has gotten to the top of the ceiling of his idea. He can't create no more, and we need someone else, because every time he plays, everything is just conservative, and you have players that they can run 90 minutes without being tired. They can be technically savvy on the field, but he's restricting their ability with the fear of them, having goals scored against them. So that's been France, the outlet media. That's what they want. They want him out. Actually,
he's forgetting how I mean, still the French side's still pretty young.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all insanely pacey. Like let them go crazy. Like they want to go crazy. They all have the physical ability too. Like that doesn't mean put them in bad positions and get countered too quickly. But like yes, far too conservative for what these guys can do. Yeah, and want to do at times.
I think the way he set his team up, he still think he has Paul Pogba in the team. That's the problem. He's still set up like he think like Paul Pogba is playing for his team. Because he could set up like that, and Paul Pogba all he need is one ball to Kylian Mbappe, and it's a goal. But you don't have Paul Pogba in the team anymore, so you need to adapt and be different. He was so bad needed like the team that won the World Cup that he went and brought Kante back. Even though Kante was good, I'm like,
God, he was so good.
You move him, like you move away from him for a reason.
Unpopular opinion: if Kante was there in 2022, when was that World Cup? 22 or 23? 23. They would have won it. That's my opinion. I think they would have won it against Argentina.
Yeah, I think like they need a better, like just as England need a new coach.
Nah, then he need a better
like
coach.
France need a coach.
I want Zidane to coach.
The crazy part is, Zizou is sitting out there and say like, when are you guys gonna fire this guy?
Why
is this guy still in my seat?
I want Zidane to coach that too. So we had Madrid, right? I think Madrid didn't play what I was expecting them to play. I was expecting Madrid to come right out of the gate and just give a statement of presence. 5 goals. 5 goals. I don't think they play like how they would. Rodrigo played well, and I think Rodrigo was the best man of that day. But Mbappe didn't play how how I told you that there was people had concern that where is Mbappe gonna play? He likes the left side, whatever. I told you it's gonna be fluid. Yeah. And that's what they did. He was mostly on the left side. Then after on the attack, then Vinicius went there. It's gonna be fluid.
Well, there were times that I was seeing Rodrigo kind of like floating behind Mbappe on the left wing.
Yeah.
Before he slowly coasted back over into central and over. Like,
do you think it's a clicking problem? They don't click yet as a team.
Also, but Mallorca just played well.
Yeah,
their defense was pretty solid, and I mean, I think it was a great example with Rodrigo scoring that goal. I mean, they held Mbappe pretty clean overall, and I mean, you can spend all of your manpower doing that. They shut down Vinicius Jr. for the most part. Okay, you can do that. They held Bellingham back into the midfield, basically relegating him to just fielding passes. You can do but Rodrigo, there's always going to be one extra guy. It was the great example to me of you can play well, you can shut down 3 of the big 4. That 4th is going to score the goal, and it's like it could have been on this day. It was Rodrigo. If you prioritize him now, someone else is open, and it's like this front 4. It's not that they're all 4 going to run insane every single week. What's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to shut down some of them, but you literally just can't shut down all 4 of them. And that was proof.
But they were not even aggressive.
I think
True.
I think what's going to stop this team is going to be ego.
Yeah, could be.
Because like you say, most of the game, it was Mbappe on the left, occupying that position, and Vinny Jr. came back into that position and play a little bit. But once this team click like they're supposed to, and they understand it, they'll be dangerous. And right now, I think Rodrigo is playing like man possessed because he knows one bad game is onto the bench. He knows.
See, I genuinely, as long as they run a 3-man front, I think he's safe. They have nobody else in that right wing that'll come close to him at this moment. If they start doing what they did last season, where they have like 2 center forwards, or something like that, then maybe he gets kind of muscled out, and it's Mbappe and Vinicius. But as long as they're running a 3-man front,
I think Rodrigo's the weak link. I think Ancelotti is gonna run a 3-3, unless he start putting in that kid. What's that kid from Brazil?
No. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm saying like Valverde is gonna find himself on the wing again. Because he's so reliable coming back and helping defense. And in order, like when you start going to the Champions League and playing these teams, you're gonna need a bit of defensive stability.
Yeah.
So somehow, what is his name? Camavinga is injured, but when he come back, Camavinga and Tchouaméni and Bellingham in that midfield.
Yeah.
that means somebody's going to have to miss out. And I think it's going to be Rodrigo, because you cannot have 2-3 players up front who cannot track back.
Yeah.
So instead of having Rodrigo there, just put a guy who's going to be a workhorse for the other two in the front in Valverde, and you can keep like Mbappe and Vini, and just have another workhorse there that will cover almost every other blade of grass that they don't. Because people forget that Kylian Mbappe do not do any track back.
Yeah.
Vini Jr. is not good about tracking back.
Yeah.
So
if he tracks back, red card, yellow card is coming.
Exactly.
You don't want him in that position.
My fear is that like Ancelotti is going to figure something out, but it's going to mean that he has to leave one of his biggest players out.
Honestly, I thought they will try with all these people. I thought they will try to play a gang press like Liverpool, because they have the ability. They have insane stamina. All of them. I don't think one of them don't have stamina. The only person that I see has stamina but pace might let him down, Carvajal, because of age. Yeah. But all of them. Mendy, I never was keen to Mendy, to be honest. I think we need another guy.
Did he put on size? He looks like if you
he's always big, man.
That's
what is slowing him down.
I just think that
I can pick him out in a crowd, and because he's but he used to be a little bit like thinner, a little more wiry. He was running next to Antonio Rudiger, and they were like the same size. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was just bizarre. Like he has shoulders now.
Had a little bit too many when on holiday.
I don't know what was going on, but it was wild looking to see.
I think he's the most underrated player in that team, actually, because he's actually very good defensively, and he's also very good going forward. But if you are playing the same wing as Vini Jr., you don't have to be great going forward.
Yeah.
You just need to be able to assist to make sure he's not getting double on all the time. And you got to also be very, very good defensively, because most of the time you're going to be doing the defensive work by yourself.
The only thing that I can think of about him needing to work a little bit, because you are right, if you're kind of just feeding the ball to Vinicius on the wing, he is missing out on a little bit of extra midfield safety because Bellingham plays on that. So he's on paper playing as the left midfielder, but that he spends more of his time not only in the midfield but like up toward the attack. So it is sort of that Zinchenko thing, where once even though Zinchenko's a defender riding up into the midfield, but you are kind of left a little bit ragged on that, like you've got more space between you and Vinny, that Bellingham's up there kind of trying to create more opportunities, that maybe he does feel a bit more stretched thin and a bit more obligated to get up there and sort of help feed the attack, even though Bellingham's supposed to be doing that and is.
That's why I'm thinking he might have to bring Camavinga in, have Tchouaméni sitting, and you have Camavinga covering this side, and Valverde covering the other side when the other guys push forward.
How long is Camavinga out officially? I read the article, but I didn't.
I think it was like about 6 weeks or 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad.
It was long.
When you said 6, I was like, not months.
Yeah, 6 weeks is okay. Hold on,
I think it was like 6 weeks to 3 months.
I'm gonna double check that while you guys are
Another thing is like they have a good rotation squad, which is what I'm happy about, because they have the squad is deep. Ceballos, Diaz, Vasquez, Guller, but at some point I feel like these players might get to a point where they need more playing time because they feel like they are the man. The only person that is really holding the egos will be Don.
Oh yeah,
as soon as Don is gone.
Yeah, I keep telling you this. As long as they have like Don, they're gonna be fine, because he's almost reminding me of Sir Alex Ferguson in the mall, that he can leave the players out and make them still feel good about themselves. Yeah, and feel good about being part of the team.
Yeah, like Bellingham actually said that, and he said that on the OBB podcast too.
So if he were to leave, that's when you're going to start having a lot of problems, because right now it's not a big problem, because maybe in a year with the young striker from Brazil, just like is it
Hendrick?
Yeah. In a couple of years, Hendrick's going to want to play.
Yeah.
And
and if he becomes good at understanding, he will want some playing time.
Yeah.
So he already got iconic pictures.
So you have like Hendrick, you have Vini, you have Mbappe and Rodrigo.
Yeah.
In like in a year, they're all going to want to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
The same thing in the midfield is that you got Tchouaméni, you got like Camavinga and Valverde. And I think they just bought like a younger midfielder.
Arda Gula.
No,
Gula. But him is going to end up being like Odegaard because the Real Madrid don't play with that like attacking flair midfielder anymore.
Yeah.
So Arda Gula is going to struggle. The same thing with Brian Diaz.
Yeah.
Those guys are going to struggle is because
Diaz looks good. Like he's impressed when he's been out there too.
Yeah.
That's another player. I'm like, there's too many good players in that team for them to just be sitting down.
The midfield overrun has remedied a little bit and will next year. Like Cruz leaving was actually a good thing, I think. Overall,
yeah, just creating space for the other guys.
Yeah, and then Modric is guaranteed at this point. Since he's playing 30 minutes a game is what it looks like.
I wonder if
he won't really start, or he'll play 60 or he'll play 30, but everybody else will be getting the opportunity. So it does look like it's Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Valverde, and Bellingham. Even though, I mean, it's kind of unfair to put Bellingham in that he is their attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Whether on paper he's in the midfield as a 10, as an 8, he is almost always a 10 coming up. So
and with big names, big money, you can't afford to bench them.
Yeah.
Because you bought them for a reason, but it's gonna be difficult. Because for me, Diaz and Gula are really good, really good, especially that Gula kid. But I wonder if at some point he will also want the minutes.
Should have gone to Barcelona.
And I feel like Barcelona will suit his style of play too.
Yeah, like he's literally like a Barcelona player.
Yeah,
like the way he moves, the way he's Barcelona. He's like the elegant of Messi on the ball. He needed to go to Barcelona.
I wonder if they're all waiting. They're all thinking, well, if Modric retire, I have a chance.
But when Modric retired, you still have Valverde, Tchouaméni, and Camavinga.
There's still one extra hanging out, and you're either letting Tchouaméni sit or Valverde or Bellingham.
And Real Madrid is not just going to sit down and wait. No, like, you know what? Who's the next best thing coming up? Hey, come
over.
We have a spot for you now.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. Tchouaméni, Arsenal.
It's
gotta happen. I don't care if I have to like. I mean, just
I need Tchouaméni at United. That's where I need it.
Because for sure they're not selling Camavinga.
No, they're not going to sell Tchouaméni either.
They're not, but I was just saying, if there was someone that will sell, it will never be Camavinga just because of how versatile
he's too versatile.
He's too versatile to sell.
To me, it depends on the coach. If Ancelotti is still the head coach, then I can see where is Tchouaméni getting sold.
Yeah.
But if any other coach come in, I think Valverde will be the one going. Because like you say, you don't know what Camavinga is like, almost like Modric.
Yes.
Because he can attack, he can defend. You can plug him in a position in that midfield and he'll be fine. Tchouaméni is a pure defensive midfielder.
Yes.
Very good on the ball, very good at breaking play. Here's your Casemiro. You're gonna need him.
Yeah.
So the third midfielder is Bellingham. So he's not gonna let's say if you were to recreate the iconic three that won the Champions League like 3 times in a row, like Camavinga will be Modric. Bellingham will be Cruz, and then Casemiro will be Tchouaméni, and the person that's missing out a bit will be Valverde. But the more I think about it, actually, Valverde is more Cruz.
Yes, that's what is Valverde is incredibly diverse as well. Though he can do a lot of things. We've had that conversation, Jordan. Is that he does every single thing very well. It's like he doesn't do one thing perfectly or like world class, but the fact that he can do everything exceptionally, you're just like, there's not one thing that this guy can't do. He's quick. He's smooth on the ball. Deep passes, short passes. He can track back. He defends well. He's good on the wing. He can cut inside. He has a great finish as well. You're just like, this guy is like. I think that he's the most diverse out of anybody in that squad. But they don't need what he brings as much as what the other guys. I think it comes down to not who's the best individual talent. It's what Madrid needs from their players.
Because even
he's
Bellingham,
kind of the odd man out.
I don't think Bellingham has reached his potential because. He has games that you
still
play.
20 years old.
Well, that's true. But I mean, like as a central attacking midfielder, I feel like he himself doesn't really understand how to play yet. The reason why I say that, if you see them playing the Super Cup, you see how he played. It's difficult, I guess, because of the permutation and the position. But how he played there is different from how he played the other day.
Yeah.
Playing yet as a pure central attacking midfielder, it's not clicking for sure yet or 100% yet.
Because he's not used to, like, when he was the last season, the way he was so good is because you have like Rodrigo and Vinny Jr. up front, but they kind of like, when the game start, they're up front, but when the game start going, they go like that.
Yeah.
And that whole space is Bellingham.
he's
Like,
and
I can go crush the box, I can come back and all of that.
It might be a little too much freedom for a young player, even though he's that good. I do think that it's like he needs to firm up exactly what his base tactics are for this formation, as opposed to, I mean,
because when you get 3 years in 23, 25, where they expect that you've already been seasoned, they want that pure central attacking and most what you bring in.
I think it's going to end up being like truly what his position is a box-to-box midfielder.
Box-to-box midfielder. Yeah.
Like when he was
like
with
Dortmund,
Dortmund, the ability to go back and forward.
It's
he was good at.
It's sort of like they're working in reverse, where like you want the young player to have a little bit more structure, even if they are good at improvisation. But like you kind of keep him in this little, and then once he gets seasoned, you let him go. It's like as soon as he got there, they're just like, run around, kid, do something. Yeah. And he did it well.
Did you
but
hear what he said? He said that Carlo Ancelotti said. He said you got to go up there and entertain me.
which that's funny, but it's like the more seasoned that he gets, the more defined and closed in his role is going to be. That's just odd. You usually see the more seasoned player being able to be a bit more expressive after learning the foundation of what their role is in the squad.
I think because is because the coach too, because he's old school. Like the new wave of coaches, they will not
hyper
allow
controlled.
That. They control everything.
You're right. That makes sense.
They will not allow that.
And that's why I love watching Madrid more than I watch City, even though City played really good football.
Yeah,
I like the way Madrid played because
it's more entertaining.
The creativity of the individual players.
Yeah.
I want my winger to grab the ball and say, "Fullback, come on, it's me and you, 1-on-1. See what you can
do. Some crazy.
I don't want you to get the ball, pass it back."
Yeah,
Jack Grealish. Because he was fun to watch when he was at Villa doing that.
It was a City killer that for him, because that my thing, even in this modern football, a lot of the left wing or right wing or the central forward or the strikers, they cannot take a player 1-to-1 anymore. They can because they are so reliable on space and position that technicality and individuality is gone.
Completely.
Yep. Even Saka, as good as he is, if you close the space, he won't do anything one-on-one. He will pass it back. What they do is they go, when the low block is set up,
let me turn it down a little bit.
They go from left to right, and when it's blocked, they go back on right to left. They work their way until they get in. Back in the days, hey, if I'm on left, if I go right and it's blocked, my Ronaldinho is gonna do something in there. I just gotta create space and cut in. So when he goes in, he cuts back, send it back, I put it in.
That was the crazy part, is that like back in the day, you had wingers that like 1-on-1, they can go either right or left, and you knew like Ronaldo, when he was playing the wing for United, you didn't know where he's gonna go. He can go right, he can go left. You knew also wingers that were always gonna go right and then cross, and then you had Robin.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what Arjen Robben was
but
going
it was
to
difficult,
do.
But it didn't matter.
Didn't
matter.
Like, especially when he will run that left, you know he's gonna come back.
Listen, I'm gonna cut to my left foot and I'm gonna curl it. Top corner.
I'll tell you exactly what I'm gonna do.
I'm telling you exactly what I'm gonna do. The problem is, can you stop it?
Answers most of the time, no.
So
well, all right, guys.
Well, another episode on Top Corner Podcast, and this was good. The beginning of the season. What's your pronostic? We'll end up top 4, top 5. Last year I said West Ham. Was it West Ham?
You said top 6 for West Ham. Top 6, yeah.
But
I'll never forget how you said it.
But Aston Villa top 6. I think top 5 Aston Villa this year. Yeah. I see Madrid winning the La Liga. I see Napoli top 3. I'm not sure yet.
Have you seen the first game?
I still believe Lukaku is going there.
That Kvaratskhelia injury was bizarre. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Lukaku is
really
going there.
What happened to him?
He got hit in the head, and like the one of the Hellas Verona players just kind of. It wasn't even that bad. It was like a little limp wrist went by and hit him in the head, but he had like a big swelling and he was bleeding.
Wow.
And they like took him off, and like I think he was kind of saying. One of the medical guys was asked him like if he was feeling dizzy, and he was like, yeah. So he got a concussion of some. Like I watched the replay like 8 times. I couldn't quite see what happened, but it happened.
Yeah.
So he might be out too.
Yeah,
But he doesn't look like he's putting all of his effort in right now. But to be fair, I wouldn't either.
No,
I think
he needs to
United
go.
will finish strong top 5. That's what
United?
I think. United.
I think we'll finish third. I really
That's
think we'll
bold.
finish third.
That's
We're gonna
really
finish
bold.
right behind Arsenal
Arsenal.
and City.
So you think Arsenal won't win the league? That's what he's thinking. He said right behind
See,
Arsenal.
here's the thing. I really want Arsenal to win the league because I'm tired of City. I'm tired of my neighbors making noises and having parties all the time.
Yeah.
I
That's
want
funny.
Arsenal to win. The
Okay.
problem is
Will they?
Arsenal are always going to be the, what do you call it? The maid of honor.
Mm.
They're never going to be the bride. They always unless they're actually figuring something out
Yeah.
and you cannot beat a master in his own game.
Yeah.
Like Pep is the one who won the league with a false 9. His apprentice is trying to do the same thing, but
That's why
he's not going to do it.
the best way
because-
to counter Pep never play the same, and it's been proven
yeah,
every
like I said.
time that someone played different than Pep. That's why they have so much difficulty to counter
beat Pep.
Madrid, to beat Madrid, because Madrid is so unconventional.
style.
You don't have a star.
Yeah.
Same thing when Pep had Barcelona and Inter.
Yeah.
Same thing. You just had to be different. You
So,
can't play the same.
Yeah,
way.
so for the longest time, the only coaches that ever won the league against Pep Guardiola, they played the complete opposite of him.
Mm-hmm.
Complete opposite. Never a team ever played exactly or identical to him and win against him
Yeah.
because he's the master of that. Everybody else is just an apprentice.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Mourinho won the league against him, completely
Different. Yeah.
night and day. And Jurgen Klopp also won the league.
Yeah.
And Jurgen Klopp played the complete
Very
different.
different.
So
yeah.
I think you don't need to play exactly like him, and I think that's where I feel like Arteta hasn't learned yet. But Arteta was going to figure out, if there's one person that's going to figure out, it's going to be Arteta because he's very smart.
Yeah.
And I think this is his 5th year in coaching in general. So he's going to figure out, I'm not going to beat Pep being Pep.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to wait until Pep is gone and I'm going to be the
And
next
then I'll
Pep.
be yeah.
So I think that's
I
what
can
he's
see
waiting
that.
to say, like, hey,
Yeah.
Because
Pep-
Pep contract is
Well, no, because
undecided. We don't know if he's
2
gonna
seasons
renew.
ago they were short by 5 points,
yeah.
and then last season they were short by 2 points. And it's like
So, getting
you
close.
have to think of the fact that if City were just not there,
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal
they're
would have been
winning.
back-to-back champions, and it wouldn't have been that close. It's not the fact that Arsenal are always. People are always like that they're bottle jobs. And it's like you understand that the amount of points that are expected to win the league now are so much more than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's like this City side, the expectations that they have made everybody else seem like bottle jobs when really they're just putting on historical seasonal performances. That's what's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's not that anybody's choking or coming up short. You're asking them to be one of the best squads ever to ever exist,
I think-
or else they're a failure, and that doesn't make sense to me
I would
personally.
disagree with the first season because in the first season, at one point, Arsenal had a 10-point lead on City.
Yes.
And that it was in their hands. Just have to outplay City. Don't play catch up. And
But it was injuries though,
Yeah.
and that's where the depth of Man City's squad actually made they were able to recover more.
that I agree with.
Yeah.
But you had a 8-point lead at one point. You end up losing the league by 5. And to me, that's what I would say. Okay. Last year, yes, you lost I think couple of games that you lost, the West Ham game and the Aston Villa game.
And those are because
Yeah.
there was no number 9 trying to
Exactly.
get you that goal. It's like
Yeah.
we can all score by committee throughout the entire season, and
And when the committee is no longer
yeah,
in
you need the
section,
president to come in and
you
go.
need the president.
Here's
There's
that
a reason-
goal.
There's a reason there's a president sometimes.
Yeah.
You need the guy to say, okay, I am the guy. If all else fail, I'm going to take over and I'm going to make sure we finish strong.
The lessons are there. The lessons are there deep in the squad. They did that. And then the next season it was you need somebody that even if your style of play that works all season long, 38 games,
Yeah,
if
should not
one
forget.
game it doesn't work, you
Yep.
need somebody that can come in and do that. So the lessons are clear.
Liverpool might be also a strong one this year, so y'all don't know.
Liverpool is weird. Liverpool is, to me, it's just weird. It's because you can see they still got a really, really good squad.
Without
Really
the
like-
squad,
Yeah, you got a really, really good squad. And you didn't even add anybody into this squad.
that's true.
And
That's true.
the greatest manager in your club history just left. And it's never he
Yeah,
never
they
goes
just a
well
weird
when
team.
somebody else follow a great.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, you never wanted to be the coach that replaced a great coach.
Yeah.
And like Arnold's, like the deal slot, I'm like, man, how you gonna do? Because the history say you're gonna suck, but also your squad is so good. Your squad still got Mohamed Salah in it, and it's still one of the most lethal wingers in the league.
Yeah.
You got Trent, who's probably the best right back in the league. You got Alisson, who's probably the best center, goalkeeper in the league.
Yeah,
you got Van Dijk, the best defender in the league. I'm like,
no, if they
it's
figure,
just weird.
yeah,
Like they're in this limbo where like,
well, they're all
you never
insanely.
know what's going to happen.
They're all insanely loyal as well. It's like they and by that I don't mean like loyal to one person. They're loyal to the position. Like
position,
I mean, as soon as Slot came in and he changed their tactics, they okay. It doesn't feel like there was a Klopp didn't do that. So it doesn't matter.
You know,
they all seem mature enough and loyal enough to do that. They're like samurai.
I think Slot won't change a lot. That you see, usually people come, they want to change the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think Slot won't change a lot, and that will probably bring him results.
He comes in day one. He's like, "So, what do you
what
guys?
did you guys used to
what do you guys want to do?
We can't do that." Well,
sounds good.
I think it's learning.
Let me write this down.
It's learning from like David Moyes. When David Moyes took over Man United, he came in. All right, guys, your father just left the house. I'm your stepdad, and we're not going to do anything that he did. In fact, if you were part of that team,
you're out.
Pack your shit and go.
Your dad's a bum.
That's what failed, and a lot of people don't get that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Rio Ferdinand, you used to take a few days off to make sure your back is correct so you can play on the weekend.
Nah,
we ain't gonna do that no more. And like, in fact, if you don't like it, go to QPR.
Yeah.
And he failed.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you don't want to listen to us, you don't want to hear us, there's so many ways. Go on our TikTok. You don't want to listen too long. Go on our TikTok, Instagram. You don't want to see us. Go on our Spotify.
I don't want to see us. I'm seeing us right now.
And if you just want to listen, go on our Spotify. So we're going to link Ayuen's YouTube page too. Go listen to him. If you're a strong United fan, go listen to him. He got some great point.
And if you hate United, go over there and just give him the business.
Yes, definitely.
Anything for the channel, anything for the channel.
Go subscribe, turn on your bell notification, and we will see you guys next. Bye.
Bye.